Denzaya, come on, Denzaya. That in my business, you catching fever, getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We got us on a big coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we got us on a big coming. Yeah, you're coming, yeah. We coming. We better than a big coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming. We better than a big coming. They are meant to song. We coming. We better than. Come on, Denzaya, come on, Denzaya. That in my business, you catching fever, getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better than be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better than be coming. Yeah, you're coming, yeah. We coming. We better than be coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming. We better than be coming. They are meant to song. We coming. We better than. Come on, Denzaya, come on, Denzaya. That in my business, you catching fever, getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better than be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet obstacles, we better than be coming. Yeah, you're coming, yeah. We coming. We better than be coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, we coming.
Let me say welcome to all of you again to yet another edition of the program, The Bottom Line. And tonight we're going to be discussing a lot of issues, and hopefully I'm going to be joined by my co-hosts, Andre Chalo, Paul Chirople, and we'll be discussing these issues. And we will also have a guest on the program tonight, and this time we will not be discussing politics with our guest. He's going to be discussing the environment, so we're going to have this environmentalist appearing on the show tonight, and he will be making his contribution, telling us exactly what are some of the effects of mining activities in Liberia on our environment. And so we have a lot for you tonight. Stay tuned and welcome once again. My name is Linford Goa, and together we can discuss here. Stay tuned. Please share the video if you just joining us for the first time. This is Bottom Line. This program discusses issues about Liberia, and we go deeper to the bottom.
Come on, Denzaya, come on, Denzaya. That in my business, you catching fever, getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. We better than be coming. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And And then when we meet up, stick on. I watch it come and we come. When the year is been checking you again, guys,
Okay, like I said, welcome to Bottom Line. Tonight we're going to be discussing if my friends, my hosts, my co-hosts will join me. I'm going to be discussing some issues about Liberia, but for now I will be alone and I will be doing a 1 minute discussion here. And so all you need to do is share the video, and hopefully I'm going to be joined by Paul and Antrick later on during the course of the program. Like I said, it's going to be a bit difficult. So let me just set some things up. This is the internet gadget is very difficult, and things are not working the way I thought they would from the start of the show. But I'm going to be back your way very pretty soon after this segment of music.
Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet up, stick on. I watch it come and we coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys, come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river. Ain't no stopping by the river. And as we coming, we sweeping, we cutting, we moving all the way. Yeah. We coming, yeah. As we coming, we sweeping, we coming. And then when we meet up, stick on. I watch it come and we coming. When the year is been checking you again, guys,
Okay, let me say welcome to Paul. Paul, do you hear me?
Loud and clear. Good evening.
Okay. I've been having some little technical glitches here, so that's why. But it's good to be here this evening, and just tell me pretty well, how are you faring? How is your end in terms of the weather and stuff like that?
Well, I will say good evening to you and to our listening audience. I'm good. Things are great over here. The weather been fantastic today. You can see me. I just came from work. I'm in a t-shirt to tell you how good the weather is. So, how is your end over there?
At my end here, the weather is great, and today it was like summer, and I mean, yeah, let's say this is summer now, but it was when I read it, the thermometer, it was 27 warm degrees, and so this is a feeling of summer right around the corner. But for tonight, we have many topics to discuss, at least 3 major ones. And like I said, during the course of the program, we'll be joined by a guest. And this guest will be, he may not be discussing politics, so to speak. So he'll be discussing the environment, and he's an environmentalist. And so we'd like to say welcome, and let's have a great discussion tonight. And yeah, and Antrick I think Antrick is in the back. I will try to bring her on also. Probably she needs to give some introductory statement. But let's get going right away.
Because the little man, were you there over there?
Yeah, my little man is here, but he's going out now. And so Paul, let's look at some of the issues we'll be discussing tonight. Tonight we will be looking at the government's decision to abruptly drop the Booker's criminal case against Mr. Cummings, and on the basis of verdict rendered by the Supreme Court in another totally different case. Uh, we'll be discussing that, but then the second one will be on is what could be the next possible plan of actions for Mr. Cummings and the ANC going forward towards 2023. Probably we can just preempt what are some of the things that Mr. Cummings is focused on that the ANC should be doing in order for 2023 to be a success. And like I said, we'll be having discussion with an environmentalist student at the university studying in the environment. And so he will be discussing the mining activities in Liberia. What are some of its effects on the environment? And so basically these are what we'll be discussing, and probably Paul, you have something that can be of interest and we can add it there. And I see Antrick is getting on, and so Antrick, we let us say welcome to you.
Thanks, Linfo.
Hi, Andre. Good evening.
Hello, Paul. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thank you.
Today's a good day.
Great, great. I can see smile on your face. How's
Oh
Belgium?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. How's Belgium?
Okay.
Belgium is okay. Raining day.
So I heard Andre say today is a good day. I don't know, Andre, what makes it good? Probably you got some surprise for us.
It's a good day because what we have been saying on this podcast all this while. Yeah. It has been
The Booker's case has been dropped. Okay,
Yeah.
Paul, our time is running. So let's go directly into our discussions. I mean, I think it almost became monotonous. It almost became repetitive that every time we discuss here, we say the case against Mr. Cummings is bogus. The case is empty. It's like
Yeah.
empty cartoon, nothing inside. The case should be dropped. And the way from the onset, the way the government got itself involved into the case through the Solicitor General of Liberia, Serena Cephas.
Yeah.
They made a case to be like something very big. And so, I mean, they took, it's like I'm carrying your Kenya and I meet Paul on the highway, and
Yeah.
Paul just take my Kenya and put it on your head, start running with it. He even asked me what in a Katunya or what in a Kenya, and he just kept carrying it and making it to be like something big. And finally, it fall the hands in the Liberian palace. It fall a more, it fall a hand. We need to go see that in Kenya that he running with nothing inside. So the government made this case to appear like that. At the end of the day, they were embarrassed. I mean, you don't need any rocket scientists to tell you that these people were embarrassed. They started changing from the reason why the case was in fact in a court, that is forgery. Then they went to the color of the document. They went to the day it was signed. They went to all kinds of things. Finally, they had to find all kinds of means. And I think they were blessed in a way that the ANC and the Liberty Party took Unity Party and ALP to court on the basis of that exit clause. And so they have to twist it some kind of way at the Supreme Court to say, look, my people, government people discussing, my people, they think for our hand. So what we'll do, we'll just drop the case against Mr. Cummings and then let Unity Party go and go free Kennedy. And Paul, if you remember, I don't know, if you still remember, the third day they announced that the Unity Party was free to go and field Kennedy. You and I had, I think, 2 or 3 minute discussion. What did I tell you? If you still remember.
I mean, I can't remember because anything come to Unity Party, I know that.
Because I told you that the case against Mr. Cummings will be dropped because they wanted to appease the Unity Party. They want to make them feel good. So at the same time, they can't make them feel good and still be holding Mr. Cummings. So they had to drop the case. They were in Paris. That is exactly what we discussed. And I mean, just a few minutes after, when I looked, I saw Serena Sifos on social media telling the people that the case is dropped. So
Yeah.
this is how far we came. After 5 months,
Hmm.
spending Liberian people resources on empty case, on case that have no
Time.
merits. And finally, they dropped it. But before the drop of this case, several things happened. Okay. Mr. Cummings have felt that the only way you could be vindicated was to do what? To bring in international forensic experts to do their own investigation. They did an investigation, they brought a result up, and the public outcry, in fact, not public, the United people and their supporters, they went wild. Oh, who are these people to come and do? In fact, they are locked and are bound in Liberia, blah, 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 blah. And the board nigga said they are going to take a result of that investigation and clean their something with it and throw in a dustbin. Then a few days after, they dropped the case. So can we relate any of the events that came to play, like the investigators from Alaco? Do you think it had any part to play in this whole case?
All right, let me come in, and I would say to our listening audience, if those who join us should just press the following button, so when we come on, they can join. They can be a light that we own. Regards to the forensic report that was carried out by Sherry Blair and her company, that report, it was sent all around the world. And all government and key donors to Liberia, they had that report. The pressure had been mounting on the government. The government knew, how do we end this case? They were struggling to come up with something. So if you follow the trend of the Supreme Court, the decision I made, there were 3 cases on one day. The government played very careful calculation here, political calculation. We bring all 3 together and end it together. That's what they did. The Supreme Court decision had no bearing on the criminal case that was tried.
Yeah.
It had no bearing. The Supreme Court was just there to interpret whether Unity Party have the legitimate right to feel felony. It had nothing to do with the situation in the court.
In the court.
But the government seized the moment to drop that
To
case.
drop the case. Yeah.
Our pressure that mounted on them, that's why they dropped that case. They had no case. So look at it. The Supreme Court didn't say the case that in the lower court. No, they were only saying that these people can feed. What people feeding have to do with the criminal case that will go on. You charge somebody for forgery.
Which is a criminal case.
Special document. So that's a big crime.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court interpretation of the constitutional law had nothing to do with the bearing on that case.
And the 2 cases, just to remind you, the 2 cases, one is a criminal case, one is a civil case. So
Yes.
how can they interplay?
But that's what I'm saying, because there's a criminal case that is there that got nothing to do with the higher court.
Yeah.
The higher court only came in to say, oh,
but you know,
they're being put in front of us. It's a constitutional matters here. So we interpret the law. That's what they did. They didn't interpret whether Mr. Cummings should get out of the court or not. No, it was not their case. The government found a loophole and they just ran with it because they were embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but
Alfred, you want to come in?
From the beginning of this case, we as ANC supporters, we have been reaching out to the international community. We have been writing letter informing them about this issue that the government was taking. And yeah, it has the propensity of bringing out chaos in the country, especially where you have a sitting government going after a political party. or trying to intrude into the internal affair of an opposition. That was yeah, it's an unacceptable situation, and those international bodies were closely watching the situation. But as a diplomat, they take their time, because there's in every situation there is a boundaries. There's a place where you stop, but you only observe and make them to understand that yes, we are looking at this. We are diplomats. We are partners in the country, but we are also here to make sure that Liberia, be peaceful. Because if anything happened, they are the same people that will be involved. They are the same people that are going to spend their resources and their time, their taxpayers' money, because whatever funds that they give to Liberia is from their people hard working earnings, their money that they pay for tax. So yeah, the international community was never going to sit down and allow this kind of case to continue. And
Okay, so
yeah.
at this point, the case is thrown out. I heard some Liberty Unity Party
Mm-hmm.
weaklings somewhere saying that Mr. Cummings should go back to the court and beg the court to give him clearance since the case was dropped, so that in the future they will not come again and say and find a case against him. If he was Mr. Cummings, that was Mr. Cummings, that what he was going to
Like
do.
when people, like
And
when that's just tell you,
yeah,
that's just tell you
and
a
I
lot
was I
about
was
our
like, I
country.
told him that just the fact that Mr. Cummings will even muster the courage to go back to the court and tell them give me clearance will confirm that he actually was wrong. It is the person who sued him that will
Yeah.
say no, my case I brought, you didn't reach a conclusion and you're
Mm-hmm.
dropping the case. And I heard that Beno Nayure is saying that. I just heard on Focus on Liberia that Beno
Mm-hmm.
Nayure is saying that the government dropped the case without consulting him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And then let him take it up with the government and let's see. These
You know,
people are so shameless. Who brought this man into politics? We really need a serious government for sure. Because every time this man's name is mentioned, I get angry. I get angry because these are the people who have caused so much problem. These are the people who destroy our country, who get our country where it is. And they are still around. They are still making decisions. They are still in the political arena of our country. This is so wrong. What's wrong with Liberians? What is wrong with, even if these people are making African African juju on you people, may God Almighty deliver that country. Because it's not normal to see somebody kill you, they hurt you, and you still allow these people to make decision for you, and you taking them
It's,
to be
it's, it's not about
someone.
juju. It's about the mindset of our people. That's it.
It's
Yeah.
not ordinary because our
Paul, I
Liberian
think Paul, you
people.
wanted to come in.
you know, people like Benina Ure, if I to advise Mr. Cummings,
Mhm.
Benina Ure should be sued
Yes,
for defamation of character.
character.
He
Yeah,
should be sued. He should not play the labyrinthine, say let bygone be bygone. People like Ure have to be taught a very hard lesson. The man is one of the most notorious criminal in the country.
yeah.
And everyone, you put baby down on the street and ask for Benina
They
Ure, they
will
know he's
tell
a
you.
criminal. How
Yes.
can a criminal want to take somebody to court and say the person is a criminal? And this is the Benina Ure that took his butt naked son day and night going behind Mr. Cummings with all, and his son also, he another criminal telling somebody is a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
The Serena Seaford, the Solicitor General, go back to his record.
Mm-hmm.
So look at the criminal, including my old man too, that joined within the government conspiracy theory with the old man who sort of be the wise man.
The
So
wise man,
they said
the
people,
elderly man.
these are all criminals that came together. You see? So a Haiti Benena Ure so much, the thing he
Mm-hmm.
wanted is going to backfire now. I think
Yeah.
Mr. Cummings will take in a court.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I support your empathy. I had a podcast recently, and that was one of what I said, that Mr. Cummings is supposed to sue Benona Ure. Now, right now, Mr. Cummings is a private citizen. He can sue Ure and let the case be in court because we'll go to election. Mr. Cummings could win the election. As president, he cannot sue anybody. So I said, well, since I do have the opportunity to reach to Mr. Cummings, I have one opportunity which is coming up. The July program in Germany. Yeah. And I said it on my podcast. I said it openly. I'm saying it now that if Mr. Cummings, I'll ask him whether he will want to sue. In fact, I'm not going to ask him, and I will not say it in private. I already promised. So I'm a man of war. It's not no insult or aggression towards Mr. Cummings. But right in the opening, right in our program, everybody will be there because I know Mr. Cummings. I know this is a soft-hearted man. If I go behind the scene and say, "Oh, Mr. Cummings, you need to sue Ben," you say, "My man, you're leading here." So I'll do it also. I'll embarrass him. I'll say, "Mr. Cummings, sue Ben. If you can sue him, you get money. Get us some all the money, buy us. Let me sue him. I can sue him. Okay? You are my political leader. You may defamate your character or defame your character. I have the right to sue him. So since you want to be a good man in Liberia, like Paul said once, Liberia, so now you gotta be too sensible. Or you gotta be crazy because when you be too sensible, you'll always be the victim.
Yeah, but no one woman born crazy, child.
Yeah. So
and Benona Ure crazy.
Yeah.
Every human being get crazy self then. So after Mr. Cummings, you sue him.
Yeah. I feel making. I'll say maybe Mr. Cummings will not like it, but I'll say Mr. Cummings, give me the money. Let me go sue the man. Then the case, when the case is in court, before you become president, a different thing, or you get family, your children they can sue the man because you are their father. Nobody can defame your character and just go like that. No, it's not possible. So today, you and myself, we are on the same note. I agree.
What they done because the society is so gullible, people don't read, people listen to people. So people been calling Mr. Cummings, oh, he's a criminal. He this, he that. Those very people now, ain't see Benona Ure go and say, oh, why the government ain't asking? Who is the law now in the country? What? Because he connived with the government, so that making a law? You see, so people like Benona Ure who are being claimed the richest Liberian man, I think this time, Mr. Cummings taking the test.
Yeah.
That money talks. It's about
time. Every time you talk, I always say, oh, Paul, it shouldn't be like that. But this one, you and myself on the same page, yeah? If Mr. Cummings cannot sue him, and I'm sure Mr. Cummings is going to be a president of Liberia, so he can't sue nobody, and nobody can sue him. So leave the election far ahead, sue them, and let the case go.
The thing, if I was in his shoe, I would tell Joseph Yuma Baka P. Benona Ure as a running mate. Then you sue him. Man, people like that, they in a space, they don't want any change in Liberia. He's there, he between the government and he between Omen Boyka. So he finding which way that he can lay his hand on. The man is just a bad apple in the country.
And let's read few comments, Paul. And Ruth Pemba says that ignorance is nothing more, nothing less. That was when we were discussing the reason why the case was dropped. And so, and she also says here when you talk about the wise man, says Ruth Pemba also said the old man was his former wise man. He been retired from wisdom. That's another funny one. He's been retired from wisdom. I'm still laughing about they go back.
No, but the thing it's fun, no, but to be honest, let's bring Eddie Johnson in the picture. Me and you working, we worked together for 12 years.
Yes.
And then I'm vying for the higher office.
Yeah.
And you leave for say, let me just keep my mouth shut. They put down no, this man that gonna try a lot. You cannot talk for me. And me, you know something bad about me, that's why you gonna quiet. Let's get Eddie the credit. Eddie knows something about Joseph Baka. That's why she did not put his hand up. And people not looking at it that way.
I said it last time.
Yeah?
I said it last time. I said they Ellie Ellen will all her ways. I'm not a fan of Ellen. Ellen is one of the president I've been close to when she came here. I was close to her. I read his statement on behalf of Librarian. I give it to her. We sat and we talk. Says she's not stay my fan. Or I'm not saying her fan. But Ellen was smart. Ellen went all over the world, bringing Liberians to work. And the Joseph Boakai that she campaigned with on the grounds for many months and then raised his hand to be her vice president. You think at the end of the day, after they finish winning, you think Ellen will look at the old man, if this old man is so good and parking one side according to him, because he the one said it, nobody's not all saying it. Something was wrong that we do not know, and Ellen has not come out to tell us because nobody has actually asked her the reason why. Okay, all the journalists in Liberia, I've never heard anybody ask Ellen, Joe Boakai say you parking for 12 years. What was the reason? No, not one. Maybe they asked that question, but I've never heard it.
Okay? So the reason why I brought this up, this Cummings case has not exposed Joe Boakai to the kind of character he is, to be honest. Because if you've been friendly with somebody for 40 years, you're in a collaboration. They have a beautiful layout that is in there. We can have consensus among ourselves. And you can bring me on, I can bring you on. Let's just have a dialogue and see, look, I'm interested, you interested. Let's sit down and talk. But the fact is that you cannot sit with the other person to talk because you have made promises to other people. What does that show? Then you say, all right, someone can't talk. I don't want to carry as my running mate, but I also don't want to go in competition with you. Fair enough. You're telling people you have the number. Fair enough. You have your surrogate day and they may keep saying, all right, I don't have the number. Let's go to the process. It didn't stop there. You decided to walk away. They didn't say anything. Okay, you found a goal. Now, when a law caught up with you now, you want to quote, you testify. You say, oh, Linford, I know Linford for 40 years, but it's just a framework document that brought us together. I know Linford. So what does that tell you about the character that look in your friend eye and say, I don't know you? So Ellie knew this guy that we didn't know, and people kept going say, oh, because Eddie didn't support him, Eddie not bow, so let me sympathize with him and make him president. Something bad about this man that Eddie knew, a lot of Liberians don't know.
Yeah, that's what liars do. They always portray the good side of themselves to the public, make themselves to look sorrowful, and so they can buy public sympathy. But Paul, you stress something that it's not on our menu, but you stress something that I want us to talk about. This man running away from competition. They brought their black voting, it didn't work. VPS didn't work. Consultation didn't work. And convention didn't work. They ran away. And when they knew that all these things did not work, they found a way to quit. Now, elections, how far is election from now? Election is 2023 October, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It's almost 1 year and a few months away. The man has started crying foul. He started accusing NEC and saying NEC is not fair. Okay? NEC is not fair. Now, he's looking for another way. I don't know what he wants to dissolve. He wants so the government can dissolve this present configuration of NEC. I don't understand. This old man is just afraid of competition.
The man is desperate.
Yeah, he ran away from all of the thing in the CPP. CPP is no more holding. So then, the next thing he's doing now is to go and complain against NEC and say he don't trust NEC. So, and they didn't, when I read that thing, I didn't see any reason. They didn't mention any reason why they do not trust NEC. NEC conducted elections during the CPP time. All the CPP candidates, they won.
They won, yeah. You didn't cry foul,
so,
but now you coming to
election. With not trusting NEC at this time when they are not. There is no other reason to. You didn't give any reason why NEC is.
I think Linford, that's a subject for another day with the old man because he's always found fault. But if I were Besson Garfield in Grand Bassa County, I will challenge the CPP and I will challenge the government that the CPP robbed him from his senatorial post.
Right.
because now they said that any honor the end brother CPP. So CP from the day that Supreme Court ruled, there's no more CPP from my own understanding.
No more CPP.
No CPP. So Besem Garfield could actually sue Yumley for robbing him from that position because she won him over, I think, few hundreds vote. So based on the CPP that how Yumley got her seat, Thomas Farah can also do the same thing with DeLong. Because what the Supreme Court did, they opened new wound that people can now challenge that result that they got. They see what with Ball Charles, Simeon Taylor, all these people. Because that's what the Supreme Court did. They opened new wound. So if I were in Besson Garfield, I would challenge Yumley. And Thomas Farah should challenge DeLong in court.
I mean, it's allow the court to decide whether they won fairly or not, or whether
they might be a rerun. Yeah, they go on their party name.
Yeah, yeah. Because the CPP is dissolved, so these candidates could either rerun under their own name instead of or under their individual party name instead of the CPP as a canopy. Okay. Let's continue with a few of the comments again. Then we'll go on Paul. I don't know. Chadela Branch says, so we have crazy country. Yeah, sometimes it's necessary because I mean, if one group of people always think that they are crazy, somebody too can come and let pause and one woman cannot born crazy child. Okay, every family gets some kind of self person too. Because if everybody be good in one family, they will all be victim of the other family that got crazy people. And so, you got to balance it. Sometimes somebody got to be crazy 1 minute, and then you can go back to normalcy, just to settle some score. Then let's look at this one. Paula Johnson is asking when will gas price go down? Well, Paula, we are not discussing the gas price. The gas price thing, I know it's concerning, and a lot of people are thinking about it. Even Liberia, we do not have oil, we do not produce gas, we do not refine, we do not do anything. We import, just as the gas is being manufactured elsewhere, we import it with high prices. So even in countries where there are oil, like here, Norway will produce oil. We refine the oil. We export it to the other country. But do not believe that right next door Sweden that buy oil from us, our gas is expensive more than them. Okay, our 1 liter of gas here is over $2.60. Just 1 liter, and not 1 gallon, 1 liter. Okay, so the gas price thing, we ain't got no control over it, especially for country like Liberia. We ain't got no, because Liberia is like a third end user. So our own problem, that big problem, can't handle it in Liberia. So the gas price thing, man, we do
it's about the taxes. It's about the taxes the government pull on the on the gas, because you look at the road fund thing that happening, they put money only for that. And that was the money that disappeared. Now people are complaining about in Liberia. What happened to the road fund? So she's right. When will they bring that money to get gasoline in the country? It's just bad, you see. But you see what happened now. If you not focus, I will speak to Paula, right? If people not focus, the government not focus, but the John Bedena Ure, Joseph Nima Barka, Aaron Dawes Dillon, and Yumni Kanga to take Cummings to court. Their focus is to eliminate somebody from the race. So the thing that's all to focus on, they're not doing it. It's all that we need to do everything to be re-elected, but not focusing on the people that are feeding the burden.
No.
You see, they came out with all of these things. The way forward, where's the way forward? Election just 16 months away. But let's focus on one person. Let's take the road fund and use it and put it into budget so we can campaign. So it's all about themselves, not about the people. That's why people are catching hell in the country. Now, so if you join with the criminals that will convict somebody and won't make the person criminal as they are, this is where they focus on. Oh, Mr. Cummings come with clean hand. So I been in Liberia, I get bad hand. Let me make a man hand dirty too. That's it's all about. And the government joined it because the government to get bad hands. So watch all the actors. All the actors serve in the government, all of them. And all of them, they don't want anybody to change the system. So they decide, look, let's punish this guy who come as Mr. Clean. That's what happening.
Okay. Paul, let's read Ruth Pingman's last long post here.
Oh my God.
See, the first phase of the opposition against their own has ended with Mr. Cummings still standing as the only alternative. The intention or plans by the real government, I think she wanted to say, was to use people within to harass, disrespect Mr. Cummings to leave the CPP. Yet, that wasn't successful. They came up with lies after 6 months with not one evidence to prove him wrong. Thank God for a far-sighted leader who, knowing his character, he have worked for over the years, thought of doing a forensic barely 2 weeks. Okay. Barely 2 weeks somewhere. The rest of it I can see it. But I think what she's trying to say is that Mr. Cummings actually came timely. His intervention or his ordering of the or his calling in of the forensic people was timely because that was the only way that this whole nonsense was going to lay to rest. Okay, and so I don't know, but something you touched, it just slipped my mind. But we'll go to Andre, probably Andre. You've been in and out. Is there anything you want to add?
Yeah, but what I see now is that the road ahead is gonna be rocky and tough, and it's now that the partisan and well wishers of ANC, we need to stand up for our standard bearer, stand up for the party, stand up for Liberia, and stand up for the change that every one of us envision for our country. Yeah, so not much to say. And if it left with me, I would advise Mr. Cummings not to take anyone to court. We just move ahead and go to the election and take our country back from those criminals. That's it.
Well, so the election that's going to take place next year is become very important. Why? Because we're looking at the past, the present, and the future. So Omer Barker is the past. George Weah is the future.
Yes.
George Weah is the present. Cummings is the future.
The future, yeah.
So we have given George Weah the opportunity to serve, or he been there coming up to 5 years now. And we see that from his leadership, most people believe he's not running the country. It's the number two, the minister
of state,
not running the affair. So that means pressing the job is too big for him. For the past, is Omer Barker that served with Eddie for 12 years, and in his own statement said they squander the opportunity that he had to lift the country up. So the choice here is, do you want to go back to the past, or you want to stay in the present, or look to the future? And the future is where Mr. Cummings come in. That would have made it, look, I come with a lot of pedigrees in my hand. Give me the opportunity, let me change Liberia. And that change, that's the change that put fear in people that been in Nigeria, the Darrell Dillon, that taking 30,000 in the Senate, the Yomi that taking 30,000 in the Senate, the Omer Barker that who is $18 million richer today and he pretend to be poor.
Poor, yeah.
So all of these crooks, they finally look, if we don't do something, they God will change this country. Now, Joseph Boyka said with Ellen, today he's preaching about war crime code.
But
They were in office for 12 years.
He didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about it. You see, the deceit in these people is too strong to another level. They now want to play on a mind. You think Bernard Yue won't be your number two? He's on the list. Do you think Bernard Yue won't work an economic crime to come to Liberia? So our brothers and sisters not thinking, they're not
No, but they'll buy it, you know, because you
that's
know.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a deception about these people.
There, whereby he took part, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you see, so if they want to stay,
we all know deep down that these people do not want the war crimes code to come in.
No, they don't want it. Nobody's going to shoot himself in the head. Paul, you mentioned something that I just want to make a little comment on. That Mr. Cummings came with clean hands, and you support. This thing that Mr. Cummings came with is a revolution. Trust me.
Yes.
This clean hand theory is a revolution in Liberia. It has revolutionized the entire political landscape in Liberia, such that there are two divides or two sides of the divide. Now, the moment support coming, or in fact, not support coming, do not declare, say, I support coming. The moment you start talking about corruption, you're talking against corruption, you're talking about good governance, they say, I'm a Cummings man. Why? Because Cummings is where? On the side of good governance, right? Corruption-free Liberia. So the moment anybody, even if you know coming from Adam straight here, just say, we don't want corruption. We want good governance. We want good educational system. We want good life for our people. They say that I want to Cummings people there.
Yeah.
On the other side, if you say, we want the party to continue, where we can't in government and get rich, then you bugger people there. Then you bend out Europe people there. Yeah. Then then you on the right side, according to the people. But the Liberian people are getting to know. Why is it that when the mayor says he's clean, people got vexed? So you don't like clean things? You don't like clean people? I don't understand.
Everyone should be dirty. That's why they're trying to say that the entire country is filled with dirty up people. People who have their hands soaked with blood, people who have their hands filled with corruption, people who, all sort of things. That's what they're trying to put out there to the world, to try to make Liberia to look as a country of sin, a country that heal people who killed murderers, thief, and all sort of people. And this is not what our country is. We have good people, and that's what I'm saying here on the public media, that if the good ones who are in minority sit down and allow these people to continue to destroy our country, then the fault is on you. Then it is on you. We must stand up and unite and tell these people that enough is enough, and we can no longer sit down and allow them to destroy our country and show and portray a bad image of our country out there.
Okay, let's quickly go to our second topic. That has to do with the next possible plan of actions for Mr. Cummings and the ANC fast forward, moving as of now, after this nonsense case is gone, the plan of action. And we shouldn't be the ones to say this, but we just want to influence decision, what we think Mr. Cummings should start doing, or what we think are some of his plans, or as ANC supporters, what we think should happen. So let's start with you. The whole long case is finished. The case that was intended to drag Mr. Cummings down the road so that you will not have opportunity to go to the various counties like he's been doing, that you will not touch base with people in Monserrado County or the nearby counties and even the Leeward counties. This nonsense is trapped. Where do we stand? Or where can we start from? And where are we going to?
Well, so the thing is, thank you for bringing that in. This is where the real campaign starts. And this is where you start setting the message, the kind of country you want, how you want to build Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
It's about campaign now, setting your message.
Yeah.
All right. What ANC people have to do is they have one of the best product to market in Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
And marketing that product is easy because it's a product of change, product of clean hands.
Yeah.
So, and this is where you put the bad actors together, put it in one basket and say, this is the reason why they resist in change. And what kind of
Mm-hmm.
change that ANC is talking about? Mr. Cummings have a vision to run on 5 pillars. And that 5 pillar, that's the 5 pillar message now he start talking about. And he will be moving into counties, doing his visit and telling people this is the real change you have. He's the one that is there now to come in and say, look, I want to come in and put Liberia on a new path that is stabilize the situation for the other generation behind us. Because the stealing in Liberia have been there for time immemorial, it seems that it's not going to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who comes in and say, look, I don't need a dime, but because I am a Liberian and God bless me with this knowledge, I think I can do something better with this country. This is the time that Liberians open their eyes. And that's what I said earlier. If they want to stick with the past, they stick with Joseph Nima Boyka that have nothing to offer.
Yeah.
If they want to remain with the most popular son of the land, my own brother, Mr. George Weah, President Weah, they stick with him. Or if they want a better Liberia tomorrow, they look at Mr. Cummings as the future.
Yeah.
So the election is there for those three people. Who do
Yeah.
they want to go with? They want to continue the suffering, stick with those other two. You want better health care, stick with Cummings. Your children not going to school, they said in cold water, you want that to stop, look at the future.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I see it. So it's the real message now that will be sold to the people. Better health care, better schools. Instead of you using university, imagine in the 21st century, our neighboring country, people go to school from kindergarten to 12th grade. It's free. But it's not in Liberia.
No.
You have to go to university free. I don't know. So the foundation of education is not free, but at the higher end is free.
Level then
It
is
doesn't
free.
make sense to me. But
No.
that's what we want. So if you want to stay with the people, that's the choice. The past, the present, and the future. That's where we go. So Andre, you can chip in.
Yeah, like I said, Paul, right now we just need to focus on the future and let Mr. Cummings not be distracted by any noise from outside, because our concern is the election 2023. We have to get it right this time around. And if we must get it right, we must concentrate on winning the election and forget about those noisemakers, those criminals who have suffered our people for so long. And I think the Liberian people have an obligation, and they have already started the journey by signing, the petition for a war crimes court, which was submitted to the House in Washington. And in this public manner, I'm calling on the U.S. Congress to start, to start it up, because it is now or never. Because these same people, they are regrouping themselves to come and take over power. So we need your help, and we need it urgently. We need these people to be beyond bars where they belong. All of them, because these are the
Mhm.
same people that are
Andre,
coming
that's
again.
a good call. But for me, I've reached a point where I always say we should not sit with our hands folded and expect
Mhm.
the international community to come and grab
No,
million
that
dollars and
Liberian
donate.
people hands are not folded,
Yeah,
because
we need to
thousands
start
of
the
them,
action. We need to
thousands
start the
of
action.
them, they have already taken the
Yeah, so
action that we
if we
wanted
continue
them to
calling
do.
on the international community, it will be difficult for them. They
No,
can't make it.
it's not difficult anymore,
Yeah, but they will not
because
come and grab these people. We are
they have
supposed to do
already
the work.
signed the petition. And
Yeah.
that is the most important. The petition that they sign is a message, a clear message, and an
Yeah.
open path that they have given to the international community, especially our founding father, America, that we are ready for the War and Economic Crime Code. It is time. So the only thing the U.S. Congress are doing now, get the funds and go and take these people and put them where they belong. Yeah, Bele Yala, they waiting. Me, I'm waiting for them to
No,
donate
but
some crocodile in our water.
it doesn't work like that because the sitting government, they're waiting for Georgia signature before they can add say, well, the funds is there, the money is there, they've been there ever since. But does the
But
government want to do it?
Joria is definitely going to do it now. He's whether he like it or not,
Well,
he's going
so
to do it because
if
election is approaching.
if he sign the paper, then it's finished. But if he refuses to sign, the money is there, so it's left with them.
And
So
then
with
then the
this,
Let
people
me
need to,
let me agree. Let me
if
agree here
George
with
Weah is a reason, then the people need to get on the street and demand him to
let me agree here
sign the
with
paper
Newspaper.
or he will not have a second term.
International fatigue for Liberia is already clear. We see it. The people they tie with us. I mean,
yeah,
seriously, if the American ambassador can come and tell us all these things, I mean,
yeah,
it means that they are pressed. But
Yeah.
you know, diplomatically, you have to come to play that diplomacy. But it's like,
Mhm.
no, we tie with you. And you know, it will
You're
reach
too
a point.
corrupt. And he
It,
came up
it will reach
publicly
a
to
point.
say it. You're
It will
too
reach a point
corrupt.
where they will say this word, you
Mhm.
know, unrefined. They will not polish it no more. They will say, look, you're going on your own. We tie with you. We're not helping you no more. And that point is where we don't want to reach. Because
No.
when we get to that point, let me tell you, the worst country on earth to ever, or the last country on earth to ever denounce you is America. America denounce you, no other country will want to take you because America sets the pace for the rest of the world to follow.
Yeah.
So right now, the way Liberia way down, good government can, and America comes and say, look, all the other countries you can let help Liberia. You will see how, I mean, within 4 or 5 years, Liberia will be a new, like some new world. But
Mhm.
right now, as it is, my friend, let us not allow America to denounce us. Let us not allow America to denounce us. No
But they
way.
have already started the pathway to that by signing, by allowing thousands of Liberians to sign that petition, and the petition is submitted to, yeah, to the U.S. Congress. That's tell them that the Liberian people are ready and they are ready for justice. They need
but
justice
you
and
know the thing,
accountability.
Andrea, what you seeing, people can sign petition and it can be put forward, which is great. But then
Mhm.
funny is Liberian won't change because the very Liberian you tell them say, oh, let's bring war crime code. They say
Mhm.
yeah, but the people who telling them about the war crime code are people that better not hear them that they following that will not even introduce war crime code. It's the Omen Joseph Muma Baka that will not introduce war crime code. It's the George we had today that been there when they were in opposition. That was the son they were seeking. They been there for 5 years now. So why
Mhm.
is it taking them? So people hide behind this and say, "Oh, war crime code." Better not you will bring war crime code. So remember the kind
Mhm.
of leader that will come and say, "You know what? Enough is enough. Let me sign this." That's why
Mhm.
they're afraid of Cummings, and
But
this is
that's
the
the
people
and
that want to
Paul.
fight him.
But that's the reason why we are saying that we have these people who are responsible for our problems. These people who had destroyed the country. And now they are regrouping again to take over power to continue suffering the people of Liberia. Since now the international community have banned them from bringing war or destroying our country and allowing the innocent people of Liberia to die. So they think that the only way they can continue suppressing the people is by holding on to power. Now we had sent a clear message out to the world, to our founding father, America, that we are ready for the War and Economic Crime Code by allowing thousands of Liberians who have suffered through this strategy to sign the petition. Let them take their action now, ASAP for us. Let them take their action now and start to arrest these people, start to put them under international indictment. Once you are indicted, you cannot participate in politics. You
Yeah, but
can't.
they will not do
Andre,
it. They will
you
not
need
do
to
it.
move your camera up a little bit so
Yeah,
that
it's
you'll
up.
be on par for you.
Yeah,
Your
it's
hair
up.
roll
It's
is
up.
very low.
You guys are very tall. It's up. I'm a
No,
lady.
you can. What are you using? Computer?
I'm using computer, of course.
Okay, just bring the head of the computer a little bit down. Bend it down a little bit. It will carry you up.
Yeah, I did already.
So
Yeah,
you want to tell me you that
you see,
short?
you taller
Right?
than me now and do it.
I did already. But you guys are men, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all
Okay.
right.
Yeah. Okay. It's better. I think it's better.
So,
Oh,
Linford and Paul, this is how it works. Even
mm,
if you look at the trend of those other countries that call for war crimes code, this is what they did. The people of Sierra Leone, they stood up, they signed a petition, and they called upon their founding father, which was Great Britain. And even with the genocide in Luanda, they also call upon their founding fathers that, oh, we are ready. We want justice. We want accountability. And they signed the petition. Once you sign a petition, that clearly state that you are ready for justice. And the Liberian people are ready for justice. So let the international community provide everything and come down and start to indict these people. But I don't
It
doubt,
does not work like that. I would not just walk
I
in
don't
your
doubt
house.
the American people
No,
call
it don't work like
watch
that.
and
Okay.
see
So
before this year end. Those people will
no,
be kicked off.
it doesn't work like that.
Okay, let's
So
see.
I,
Sarah,
anyway,
it
if you
happened like
get
that.
I
accused
don't
and I say,
think.
"Oh, I walk in your house to arrest you," no, it
No.
doesn't work like
And
that.
remember, Andre, that the
Mhm.
city America also said they don't recognize the war crimes code, that none of their leaders will be judged there, none of their soldiers will be carried there for any war crime. Let me tell you how it worked in Sierra Leone in the case of Great Britain is this. The Sierra Leoneans stood up.
Mhm.
Then what Liberians are doing, what Liberians have been doing ever since the Truth and Reconciliation Commission submitted
Mhm.
its reports and concluded everything that they were doing, is that Liberians were sitting down as usual. You know, we are very much passive Liberians. We sit down. Even when the war was coming, some people were saying that in Montreal there, they hear the gunshot, they say the American coming, we just sit down here. You think America will get kind, fight for you? No. So the Sierra Leoneans stood up, but Liberians, we sat down and waited. All the international community, you come for all. The people say you should establish war. Get on the tail of these people. The first thing to block these people is do not allow any of them to take part in government. But when they started electing people like Prince Johnson there. So Prince Johnson, when he even represented Liberia on the ECOWAS parliament, can you imagine a big disgrace?
It is
So who's
it
going
is
to,
here. Our
if you
people
listen to
are
Prince Johnson,
afraid.
every time he will say, no war crimes code will come. Nothing will come because he got an assurance that he got power, he can make decisions. Okay, whenever the parliament wants to, even if you take it from Liberia, get to ECOWAS, when the ECOWAS parliament wants to make decision, Prince Johnson is there to kick against it. So you see that one of the mistakes we made. We sat down supinely expecting somebody to walk from way Washington to come and start handcuffing the people and carrying them. No, the
It
because
doesn't.
we
Yeah.
sort of deny them seat. Anywhere to go, you put yo
Yeah.
behind there, you made their homes uncomfortable. And when Glenn come, then the international community will come. You start doing citizen arrest.
But look
Okay,
at the
once you
TRC
identify the man,
report.
you can identify the man to be what? A war criminal.
Mhm.
You're arresting. Okay, you're creating your own jail, you're arresting and putting there. The human rights group that will start coming now. Then the international community will start coming. But the international community will not come and say, oh, your way of saying, let me go grab Prince Johnson, let me go grab Bonnie.
So in simple term, and Linford, you are trying to say that the Liberian people, let people share this video,
Mhm.
share this podcast, because this is the bottom line. We
Yeah.
who are on this bottom line, we're not
Yeah,
afraid
please
of
share the
no
podcast.
one. We are not afraid of anyone, and they can do nothing to, I have this philosophy that every one of us will only have one life to live. So being a coward, you will just die so many times before
No,
you're
the
dead.
first law of nature is to
So
protect yourself. God said give us
yeah,
that
you
law.
protect yourself, but you have one life to live. But in living that one life, what is the legacy that you leave behind? What is the footprint that you leave behind? Do you just come on earth to just pass, or you come on earth to make a mark, to make a change, to leave a legacy that people will remember you. A good legacy. I'm not talking about bad one, like Charles Taylor and Uridan, who killed innocent people, and Osama bin Laden and other people know. A good legacy, like people like Obama, people like Nelson Mandela, and the list go on, Thomas Sankara, and these good men and women of the world. So Liberians, the issue of the establishment of the War Crimes Court, Economic Crimes Court in Liberia is in the hands of George Weah. The same George Weah who is asking you to give him a second term after a failed 6 years of ruling. We had rampant corruption, we had rampant killing, rampant raping of our innocent sisters, mothers, our innocent children, and you name it.
Okay,
So
let me
now get on the street. It is time to get up.
Sorry, I just got to interrupt you here.
Okay.
We're streaming on 2 Facebooks, but one of the Facebooks is coming directly to my phone. So let me just read few of the comments. I cannot put it on the screen now, Paul, and you'll find out interesting questions here.
Okay.
One of the questions here is by Pro King. He said, so which party Dillon and Yobli are representing in the Senate right now since the CPP is no more? That's a good question.
That's a corruption of our law.
No,
if the CPP is no more, they should also be dissolved. Their position should be put out for re-election. Let them be elected on their individual party ticket. Then let's see who is the man who got juice.
You know, Linford, that if our advisor to people that Western got feeling, I would take these people to court.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
All those
that
when they said the document was temporary, it was not a good document it ran on. It means they lied to the people.
Yes.
So that means they deny the people the opportunity.
Yes.
I would take they don't then a court.
Yeah, that is a forgery.
Yeah.
A forgery under the laws of Liberia because they lie under oath.
Okay.
They lie.
So Dorothy Nelson said we should educate, we on the bottom line should educate the Liberian people by telling them that the ANC and Mr. Cummings, we should educate supporters of the ANC and Mr. Cummings that Joe Boakai, neither George Weah will ever bring or establish the War and Economic Crimes Code. So let the people know that all the things that Joe Boakai is running with, that he will bring War and Economic Crime Code, is zero. Like Paul said before.
No, but we will let the people know, but the people need to demand it from George Weah now and see what we are saying, that George Weah or Joe Boakai or whosoever, they will not commit to the
But I think the point John is making is that if the people do know, they will not demand it. So we should now begin to educate the people so that they will know. Because I will not, I'm not a pilot, so I will not know how to fly plane until somebody put me in a plane and teach me. You see, so the people, they got the power though, but they will not know until we tell them. So I think she's right. She got a point right there that we should begin to, educate the people. Tell them, say, look, all they know is hearing. Like Paul said something. He said, if Benona is going to be Joseph Boakai's running mate, tell me. So how can Joseph Boakai tell, and then even go to rehab and tell the people in rehab, say, the crazy people, tell them, say, I will establish war crime code. When you got a war criminal that, unless for smoking, you got here as a vice president. So how are you going to do that? It's like you say, even though my hand ratting, I'll not call it, let just be on me. No, when your hand get ratting, your body will get ratting. So you gotta call it.
Let me say something here, Linford. I watched T Match Latte show last week. They had this man on it, Dusty Wolo Colley. He made a revolution on that program. Last week, just watched, I think it was on Tuesday. And what he said, Nathaniel McGee went after him for some reason. And then he made a revolution, said Nathaniel McGee fought the war, and it got evident on him.
But these people are all rebels and
Watch
Paul.
that.
These people are
So,
all
and this
rebels
guy is the one running the affair of the
of the
country.
country.
You think war crime and economic crime will come to Liberia?
Can you imagine?
Think on it. You get Emmanuel Shaw, who is a senior advisor to WIA. Do you think war and economic crime will come to Liberia? That is joke. Omer Burka sat there for 12 years with Ellie. Ellie on us to take office for 30 years in a TRC report. There was a recommendation. You think they sat on there for 12 years, they didn't bring it, you think it was happy? No. So all of this, that is the fear. And when you see people could now say we will stop Mr. Cummings, that's one of the key reasons behind it. If we accept this guy, we will be punished.
Yeah.
That's the key. So the criminals, they're not just sitting down, they plan it together.
Yes.
You live in Norway. You ever heard this before in your life that opposition could now work for government to prosecute another opposition? Think carefully.
But you know, every situation has a good side and a bad side. 2017 or prior to 2017 election, the name Cummings was strange. People were saying nobody know this man. But I think this whole situation has reversed, and that Cummings now becomes the leading name that everybody, the people who were known, are now fighting him. So it's like the Liberian people. No, let me tell you, my friend, we are all Liberians. Trust me, Liberian people, they are very strange kind of people. The same people who did not know Cummings' name, the same people who were asking, a lot of people were skeptical 2017 to vote for Cummings because that man knew, we don't know him. And it's true. Mr. Cummings lived all his life in a private world, working privately, unlike all the Bwaka who were in government before we were born. So, it was easy for somebody to know the name Joe Bwaka, or for somebody to know the name Pago Mavi or Tipote or the Black and White and whoever. But Cummings, myself, I mean, to be frank, past election, I heard Cummings anymore. I was like, okay, since we've been having 27, 28, 30 parties in Liberia, I said, okay, this is just one of the people. So comparing Joe Bwaka and George Weah, I said, well, let me just go for Joe Bwaka because so far that was the only option, and which many of us did. But fast forward, coming right after election, I started to me and one person I always let to dig behind people. I started following these Cummings who was still persistent after election. He didn't run away to go back to America. He was still around the block. I started to go around to check, okay, and then I got to know who he is. And so even up to until now, I still say, hey, Moon coming from the race, bring George Weah and Bwaka, I will go for Bwaka. Or put Tiawan Gonglo, George Weah and what got me, Bwaka in the race, I'll go for Tiawan. Okay? But Moon Tiawan, Moon Cummings, who next? I'll go for the lesser of the two evils. You see it? So the Liberian people have gotten to know who this Cummings is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm not guessing, I'm telling you something that I know because I've been talking to people, right? I've been talking to people. To the point where when somebody talks anything good, against corruption, people say, oh, now they call me people there. Okay? That a friend of mine will text me on Facebook, on Messenger, and say, my man, I know your love for coming, but one day maybe you will come to the country, you're a professional man, you got your profession, good profession, you can come to the country and work. But the way you're talking like that, and you see our people mindset, okay, that I should be afraid, that I should not talk because maybe coming might not win, and I'll go. No, it ain't coming win.
Because these are potential corrupt people in our country.
I come from the maritime world. I know that I can contribute to the maritime sector of Liberia. I will go and make a contribution. The day coming stop, or he say, okay, move, I move. Or the government move because the Liberian government go with people. When you move, then they move, or I'll move and come back. But that's not my primary aim. My primary aim is the goodness of the rest of the people. Now, all of us sitting here, we have seen the other side of the world. We can make reference. We can benchmark Liberia to other countries. Okay, so we know what we're talking, but people there don't know. So some of them, their mind is about working. And
But
some,
see,
they will, you and myself talking here, they will say, "Come, we eating coming money. They come and give you your money." Can you imagine how silly some of these people think? So yeah,
Linford,
Paul, you want to come in?
you can't blame the people. That's why uh, voter or civil education is quite important. A lot of people in Liberia, they just hear, oh, that Linford man, Linford, he's a bad man. But they will not find what made Linford bad. They will run with it like they generated that story. That's the Liberia will come from.
Mm-hmm.
People will hear something, they would not think, they will run with it. I'll tell you something now. If you go Morovia, if this is a true story, just take or how they call it. When we're small, we have this little thing that used to ring in the car. They call it inner tube. Just pour air in it and pour left in a year as old, and people will run. You say, "Oh, the people shooting here." Nobody trying to say, "But where this coming from?" Everybody just start running, and it's the news. They will get carried the news. They shooting everywhere. That is the Liberia, because people don't see things. They hear. They don't see the word of meaning. Let me digest the thing. They get wrong with it. That's the country we come from. And that's where we see. So I'm going by the way Linford is saying here. You guys are right. That's the society is gullible. Anything they hear, they run with it.
Yeah.
There's no jobs in a place. And that's the truth. Everybody depends on government job. So you go to some ministry, people say they say they're working, but no offer, they all around, but they on salary.
At the end of the month, they get.
Yeah. So whereby when somebody talking about say, we'll make the private sector better for people to be in employment, these guys see it as bad thing for the country. There was some video came out, some international group did something recent time. They listed the 10 richest Liberian in that clip. And the 10 richest Liberian, go and watch that video. All of them worked in government. They made their money in government. They became rich in government. So what does that tell you? The other Liberians that have money, their name now on our list, including the Musa Berete that up to 50 million, I say he's not on our list. But it just tell you those who work in key area, they got rich out of Liberia. That's why they're on our list. And those people that the influential people that go around lying. You see? This is what we got problem in Liberia. Benina Yure, get how many radio stations that he operate with? His daughter got a radio station. He got a radio station. Yomi Kaga got a radio station. They call it D15. George Weah got over 12 radio stations. They're not telling the people what they want to hear. They keep them down. And that's
and that's why Dolly also on this Facebook here, Dolly is saying that we ANC supporters, we should not rely on quote unquote what we now begin to say people know Cummings. We should not rely on that belief that Cummings is popular. We got more work to do. We need to work more. We need to do more work. Yeah, because like you said, Georgia got all the radio stations, and all the people got radio stations. So Cummings does not have a radio station, but we need to do the work. We need to educate the people. We need to be there to counter all of the lies that will bring.
Yeah.
Like Joseph Walker saying he's going to bring war crimes.
Everything.
When?
Yeah.
How? Why? Where? Okay. Actually, our guest is having a difficult to really connect. He's in Liberia, is having difficulty to connect. He's making several attempts, but he hears us very clearly. It's just that he cannot get video and he cannot get audio. But he still tried. But let's move on and let me throw this question out. It's been on my mind for a long time. What if at the end of the day, I'm just trying to be, now that the case code is over, the case is thrown out, and the Bodnike, who was abusing Mr. Cummings all along, I posted something. I'm not saying that because I posted it, that's why he too made a post. But I posted this thing and said, now that the case has been thrown out, I dare Henry Costa to abuse Mr. or to attack Mr. Cummings and abuse him and call him criminal. After a couple of hours, then he took his picture and wrote, I think all of you saw that post, that now that their divorce from the CPB is officially announced by the court, he's calling on his supporters to do what? To refrain or to cease fire from attacking Mr. Cummings. So the tune is changing, okay? The tune is changing. So what if, my hypothetical question here is, what if, considering that in politics nothing is constant, what if at the end of the day, the knee erases, the Liberian people begin to cry again and say, look, all the opposition parties, you'll come back together.
No, I would advise, I would never advise Mr. Cummings to join again with those criminals. He made the first mistake. It's okay. Now let him believe in himself and know that, yeah, he can make it. That's just it.
You know, politics is one of the most dangerous things, Ninfa.
I know.
And I can tell you for this, yeah, what Mr. Cummings have learned, he can still associate, but with an eagle eye. But that one particular person that he will not, and I will say it, Benin da Ure. Omer Barker, you know his game plan that I must be president before I die. I will do everything to get there. Benin da Ure is the hater in the whole thing here. He's the one that I don't think anyone will want to do business with, especially Mr. Cummings. So the thing you asked about Bodneke is being smart here, Linford. What Bodneke is doing, he's now going to support the ruling party. So he finally means to tell his supporter, though, you calm down on his come, because when he flick, he only thing that going to worsen is going to be more. Because the people he's supporting today, he's going to let them down and will go after him. Yeah. So Paul Naked now playing clever, he coming up with a fun tune. How do I tend to support the current leadership? So he playing, he trying to mellow his base. Let calm down. Calm down on why you go day and night call them a criminal. People still running with a criminal. Calm down to say what? Is that because at some point, because this election will be second round, whoever gets in the second round will need somebody's support. But they were not thinking of that one or using all the bar walls. So now he play and he's going to leave the old man. So leaving the old man, he want to carry his people with him. He finding the fun tune. And that's why he coming with all of this nonsense. That child it doesn't mean well for anyone. So I wouldn't buy into it.
He's a poison, a total poison for the Liberian.
Well, it was just a kind of hypothetical question to ask, because I'm telling you, the Liberian people had this hope, and this is clear. I mean, if the CPB have held together, you got the Unity Party, you got ANC, you got Liberty Party. Those are three giant parties, okay? Then you got small one, then like the ALP, that family club. You take that people and add everything up. Every dirty water can put on fire. That would have been a force to contend with. But then it turned out to be the way it turned out. But the Liberian people now are confused. Where do we go? How do we get this election? How do we get through? And definitely, I can say that for free, okay? That no one party right now can just sweep election easily. It's not going to be easy. What I expect, the best that I expect for any party against CDC is a second round. The reason, not that Georgia is popular, but we got these kind of people in Liberia who will vote for Georgia because he built for the 7 condominium. Who will vote for Georgia because he built the swimming park. They will vote for him because he can fly in private jet. They will vote for him because he got a musical studio at Jamaica Resort. No, the people, or because he can dress different way every day. Our poor minds are different. So you still have the kind of people as poor as you have around. You say, come in.
Yeah,
That's just a fact.
thing is, you gotta look at it this way, Linfa. You have the great Diego Maradona from
Right.
Argentina. Maradona was worshipped like a god in Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
We have people like that in Liberia that worship George Weah like God, and they call them the sedition. In the eyes of the sedition, Weah is the best ever person that God put on this planet.
Yeah.
You ask
You
yourself, they will say
want to-
he can play Maradona, he can play Mwene Gani.
I say he's
Everyone.
George Weah can even tell them, say, look, y'all march in the Atlantic Ocean and go down, they will do it.
They will go.
They will go. And those people, they are there. So they will vote for George Weah no matter how. They got that base. Now, the opposition knew that this guy is popular. He is our only celebrity. No
Yeah.
matter what, we all know him to be superstar. He got a base. He will do bad, he will do well. The people will follow him. So let's come together to be able to defeat the populist president. And sorry to our wise men who saw this as an opportunity for coronation. The former wise men who saw this as coronation. But he said something, say, think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia. How can you think Liberia, love Liberia, and build Liberia, and then you do the contrary to what you say? It means if you think Liberia got to be a patriot, he's not. So he saw the opportunity that, oh, say I'm the older one here, and there's nonsense in Liberia that people will say, oh, yeah, feel sorry for this person and carry this person for no reason. That Eddie stop him from being president. Why did Eddie stop him? Nobody asked that question. Why did Eddie stop the man? Did not raise his hand. Nobody yet to ask that question. But the Romans go about, oh, because the man won't prosecute Eddie. On what ground will he prosecute Eddie when they both were together 12 years taking the money? You see, both of them hand in the cookie jar. You, my hand in the cookie jar, go prosecute you. I brought you before. Nobody asked that question. So the old man saw it as coronation. Because he refused to go to a contest, what he denied himself.
Yeah.
So what happened now with the election coming? They still have other parties around. Don't think that because the CPP went wrong, there are other people, there are a lot of silent voters in Liberia that are feeling what happened. They're not talking. On the day, there'll be a decision here. And I can vouch to you, say, look, the way Mr. Cummings going, if he continue with the kind of message and educating the people why and how he want to change that country, we'll get 16 months to go. Don't be surprised. They say he the number 3 now, according to them, when election did that Weah and Burka. We get 16 months to go. 5 months ago, oh, they may have no constituent. Today now, the cold water people are talking about him. So mark my word, he will be the one that will give this people something. How they call it? He put in spine, scared. He put in something serious in their spine. So watch it will be Cummings, and it will be Weah in the second round. Well, I think the guest got problem over there. So, Andrea, what your take on this? While we wait for Linfa and his guest.
But I want to say something, but I won't say it now. When it happened, then before I can come out to say.
Our guest is trying to come and he's in Liberia, so you have to forgive him with the lighting. This is somebody listening to talking. All of us here, we enjoy life. Look at Liberia. So you see, these things are reality. They are reality. These are things that we just cannot sweep under the ground. In this third world country, I mean, or in this 21st century, and a third world country, Liberia shouldn't even be called third world country by now, given our age. Imagine We are in America, no much distance between us in terms of age. Okay, all the countries that we nurture around here, Africa, see where they are today, and see where is Liberia. That to even get light or light bulb shining over your head is a luxury. Okay, that students are still using candle, kerosene lantern to study. This is sickening. Okay, and even the internet connectivity. This is why Mr. Cummings is saying that look, these are things that we need. These are not, I mean, these are things that it should be our want, not even our needs. It should be our wants because it is our wants because once you can afford to pay for it, you will get it. Okay. Yeah, Paul, go on back. Probably get an old car. When you fix a tire, then the engine start. When you fix the engine, then something else happens.
When they say corruption is embedded in the system to the highest level, that's Liberia. You know, when they were running all of the internet connectivity around the world, they used the fiber optic cable that they crossed through the Atlantic to reach Liberia. When it came to Liberia said, oh, they must give them the project they will do it. So they put John over there in 107 and other places. That now they started laying the cable in Liberia.
You must say, oh, for you in the tech era, maybe in a 4 cables will be in 1 2, they will put that 2 there.
I said that now they started laying the cable. They started laying the cable. 2018 they started the fiber optic cable. They still digging and doing it.
Liberia situation is very sad.
That's Liberia for you.
Too sad. Too
Man,
sad.
look, we seriously, you know, sometimes when we talk it, people say we hate the government, we like, I mean, we doing bad to the country, we saying bad thing about the country. But okay, at least we can see you a little bit now. We will consider you that you are in Liberia, so we consider you. Do you hear us?
It's muted.
Okay, you are muted. Look under your picture there. You're going to see something like a microphone right next to your camera on your left hand side the microphone. So if you see a line cross in it, that means
he's unmuted. He can talk now. He's unmuted.
Okay. Yeah, do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay, and thank you very much. Loud and clear. I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay, very good. At least we can see your image. Okay, will you just our time? We still have like some time to go. So we've been discussing issues, but you are an environmentalist, so the political part, of course, politics affects you as well because you live in Liberia, you are Liberian. But will you just tell us your name and what you do for living and what you are?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Alan Ogwe. I work for the Forestry Development Authority. I'm a student of environmental science. I'm currently doing double degrees. I'm doing climate change and biodiversity at the same time, doing environmental science at the University of Liberia Graduate School of Environmental Studies. So,
okay. And what are you doing now? Oh, well, that's it. What are you doing now, or like in terms of work? Are you working now?
Yes, currently I work for the Forestry Development Authority as conservation assistant. I work in Lofa County at the Wundukisi Nature Reserve.
What do you do?
As environmental, as conservationist, my duty is to ensure that all conservation activities at the Wundukisi or Lofa is in place. We look at our wildlife species. We look at the environment as well. Because being a conservationist, you are not only conserving wildlife, you are also conserving the environment as well. We are conserving the environment, conserving the natural resources, especially that has to do with the forest resources. So we look at the landscape in Wundukisi because Lofa County is a very big county and Lofa has a very large portion of the forest reserve in Liberia, especially Liberia being a country in West Africa that still possess the largest portion of the Upper Guinean forest. Liberia, let's say Liberia has about 43% of the Upper Guinean forest. That's a very big portion in West Africa. So Olofa is in the north of Liberia. It has a very large portion of the forest ranging from uh, Wondokisi going to Wolokisi and then extending to Foya, the Foya belt, then as far as Vahun and extending to Bapolu. So Lofa has a very big portion. But then on the forestry programs, they are deciding to conserve the Wolokisi, the Wonokisi, and the Foya of forest. Please don't be confused because when we have Wolokisi and Wonokisi. So Wolokisi is a famous one, everybody know because you have the mountain there. But we have another portion of the forest that is referred to as Wonokisi. So this Wonokisi is part of the forest belt that extends from Guinea coming to Liberia and is part of the Ziema forest. So there where you have the Bolo, you have the Liberian Bolo with Guinea. So we have a forest there that is about uh 37,000 plus hectare and is currently on gazettement. So there where we work for now. So our major activity there is to ensure that the forest resources are well protected. People don't go in the forest to do those human activities that has the ability to cause forest degradation of people just go and kill our wildlife species because there are some peculiar wildlife species in Liberia, especially in Wondokisi, that cannot be found in other countries. Like we can look at the population at large. Let's look at the pygmy hippo. The pygmy hippo can only be found in 4 countries in West Africa: Liberia, Guinea, Ivory Coast, and Sierra Leone. But the largest portion of the pygmy hippo can only be found in Liberia, and you find the largest portion in Wolokisi. Now, you look at some peculiar mammal species like even the Picatatis. You found it in Lofa County, especially in Wondokisi. You also found a forest elephant that's in Wondokisi. But from time immemorial, that portion of the forest has been open to hunters, to people who want to go there to do their own thing. You know, sometimes they go there, they try to create settlement there, they just kill the wildlife and market it. And what happens is this forest is emerging with a forest from Guinea, Zima forest from Guinea. So if you enter Guinea from Masanta going to Gegedu, extending to Zerikode, it's a very large portion of forest that the Guinean are protecting. So there people don't do any illegal activities there. But our portion of the forest has been vulnerable to hunters, to people who want to do their own thing. So even people from Guinea have been coming in time immemorial, coming to do their own thing. Some have even gone as far as carrying on illicit soil. Some have gone as far as carrying on hunting, killing elephant that we consider as a very the largest mammal species on Earth that
Okay.
is
Probably
protected all over.
Probably Paul would like to come in or so, or otherwise I just have another question.
No, I like where he flow because he educating us to someone who don't know the territory, so he should flow.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, you will flow. But let me ask. I don't want to forget. Um, in your work area, um, do you sometimes look at environmental effects? You know, I mean, you are conserving wildlife, tree, the green life. I know green something or whatever. But do you have oversight or like the protecting also the environment, such as you know the wildlife aspect?
Yeah, of course, we protect the environment. You know, forestry is a very peculiar course that is if you study forestry, your mind is a mind open area of study. If you study forestry, you will be like the nuclear of everything that has to do with the environment because we protect the environment. We protect the entire environment. Like the issue of climate change now is centered around forestry. There is nothing you will say about climate change that will have nothing to do with forestry. There is nothing about any environmental affairs or environmental issues that will have nothing to do with forestry. Let's look at the water. Let's look at the water courses we have. If you want to protect, if you want to have a very good water course, you must protect the forest, because the forest around the water course, like let's say for the river, is there to provide food for the aquatic animal that live in the forest. So if you cut down all the trees around the river bank or around the creek, then the fruit, all the leaves of those fruit that drop in the water that the animal feed on will no longer be there. So you will be depriving the aquatic animal from getting what they want.
And
Similarly,
so
when
they
it
will
comes to,
migrate.
you will have to migrate. When it comes to regulation, the forest canopy will also regulate the temperature of the water. It will also make the water course not to dry out. Like if you retrospect in our own environment, in our own communities in Liberia, there were some creeks or some river or pump of water where our mothers used to go to do some fishing and other things. At the time, there were regulations, nobody make farm and hit the river or the creek. But at a certain point in time, all people violated and they started making farm to hit the creek. Because of that, years after that, you notice that some of those creeks were getting dry out, and at a certain point in time, some of those creeks were away, and you no longer see the only thing is the history that all creek used to be there, the water used to be like this. So that issue is environmental degradation. Now, let's look at the issue of pollution. Now, to to regulate pollution, you must have the forest in tight, because any pollution that takes place in the atmosphere will depend on the forest to neutralize those pollution. Then the issue that has to do with carbon, the issue has to carbon the release of carbon in the atmosphere. There is nowhere that you can go for carbon sequestration to take place unless the forest. Today, the entire world is concerned about forestry, because the the quantity of carbon that is in the air is causing the ozone layer to deplete. Now everybody is like, how what can we do to mitigate the issue of climate change or global warming in the world? You cannot go in the industry to manufacture anything that will carry on carbon sequestration except the forest. Now, because the forest, we know from our elementary education that uh, plants take in carbon dioxide and give out oxygen. That means that is the simplest means of carbon sequestration. So if you don't allow the forest to be there and you cut down all the forests while you are carrying on carbon emission, of course, the carbon will be. Oh my gracious God! My my computer is going off.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So
so
you will
you do
have there will be a serious situation. I don't know whether I can find a source somewhere around to go there. So
you didn't have a
let
power
me
bank?
find my neighbor to go and get.
Oh dear.
Okay. Well,
That's
that's
Liberia.
Ladura for you. Using some antiquated computer that the battery cannot last. This is Liberia. But and I think he was striking some salient points there, because we all over the world we hear about global warming, and even here in Norway, uh, when I came to this country some 20 years ago, I remember 2001. This is the coldest I ever recalled on my stay in Norway. 2001, it was like 3 or 4 days. It was minus 40, 41, 40, 41, 40 between the. It was 30. When we're talking about minus 41, to the point where if you hold a metal outside, if you hold a metal, your hand will stick on it. Your hand will get stuck on it. Let me just Paul flow maybe.
Well, that's good. I was enjoying the conversation with this young man about forestry and some of the information he was giving about the Wodogisi Mountain and all that extending into Guinea. It was something that I really want, because I was in Guinea recent times, so I was really enjoying the conversation. But having said that, this is Liberia, where we suffer for electricity that you having a conversation current run out of your laptop, you get nothing to do. This is the country that we want to change. This is reason why you found today, if you go to Liberia, you don't have a power bank on your current thing in your mobile phone. It goes.
Yeah, put in your pocket.
That's so if you go to Liberia, you got to travel with 2 different power bank and make sure when if you somewhere that they have generator, you charge it.
You charge.
That's the kind of Liberia we have. And how do we change that Liberia? Imagine somebody mother died, they pay or mostly for their or grave for their mom. That money could have gone towards electricity. This is our governance. This is the kind of Liberia that they want us to give them second chance. In the first, they say first food is a food, right? Second food is not food.
No, you get it wrong. You get it wrong. First food is not a food. But the second food is a real food.
Thank you. So we should give them a second chance that in the 21st century, where you have a lot of rebel banks, you have the sun, you have a lot of rubbish around that you could take rubbish and turn it into energy. You got a river that you can turn all of those rivers into energy. You got a sun that you can turn the sun into energy.
And Monrovia is being swallowed up by garbage.
Yes. So here the situation, that garbage you see, if you go to Douala, that garbage you can turn it into energy. It's called biofuel. We have that. So the money somebody will take to go bury their dead mother and build mausoleum, that money could go towards energy. That's the fact. We just get bad people in Liberia, and that's the honest truth. So
the wicked people are more.
The kind of Liberia we want to go to. Some of us just want to go to Liberia on holiday and have fun, have beer, and come home and say, yes, I was home. And I want my children to be able to go to Liberia as anytime they feel free, the country. Look, when me and you were small, I used to walk from behind City Hall and go all the way up Railroad Street, 3 o'clock in the morning, walking back. Electricity were everywhere. So
I used to like walking about. And so just to find a way to walk about in there or to go to the cinema there. I told my woman, in the net, man, I want to sell with a market. She said, hey, you need to study your lesson. I said, yeah, but maybe I can do it Saturday and Sunday. Just because when I care about market, I'll live on the bypass, right? You know our area walking now. So I'll take a Willow market and start walking. I go to the club then I'll end up to cry here. When they fat guy will to cry here. Again, one cigar is you can go inside. You know, our customer will go inside. From there, when you know things are correct, then you go to Gabriel Cinema, Russell Cinema, and all these things. So and then you come around 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, back coming back home. Nobody walking behind you. You're not looking over your shoulder. You're not scared. But Alan, can you hear us? And your camera is even worse now because
I'm hearing you.
The light should actually be in your face, but it's in the background. But no problem.
It's good you back before
we are interested in what you're saying. So
before you start flowing, where are you at the moment? Are you in Lofa County or in Monrovia?
Alan, where are you now? Are you in Lofa or you in Monrovia? What you do, Alan, turn around, the light that's shining behind you, turn around.
I'm currently in Monrovia.
Yeah, but turn around to that light that's shining behind you.
I'm in Monrovia.
Wow. That is the capital of my people. Welcome on the show.
Okay. Because when the light will shine in your face, I think it will be much better.
It's much better than
it's much better. And so you were talking about
Okay, am I okay?
Yeah, you are okay now. You were talking about mitigating this maybe going on again. Can you imagine somebody in Ghana, somebody in Nigeria watching this and say, but people are playing phone. Can you imagine a country? I mean,
common thing like internet, we cannot have a stable internet in that country.
Internet, what people get on, you get it. You can get put on your memory stick and walk way around. Can you imagine that we do that? It's a luxury in Liberia.
Yeah. That's the reason why people like Benin they don't want competition to come into the country. They want the country to continue to be a monopoly country where only one person
telephone company that they control. No competition.
It should be competitive, where the people can
Well,
choose from
you know what, guys?
various services.
It's
Now
like
he want
this.
to get in government so that he can have the power to control things. It's not gonna
Hmm.
work, Beneda Yure. It's
Paul,
not gonna work.
do we see end to this thing? Do we see I mean, do we see anywhere, anytime, anyhow that we're gonna get out of this quagmire
Of
soon?
course,
Yes, yes,
that end
we
is Mr. Cummings. He's the only one that can break the cycle. He's the only one.
oh, the
The
brother
only
is
one.
Okay, Paul. I mean, we got a few more minutes, but let Alan flow. And the question I want to, Alan, do you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing
Hello.
you.
Okay. The
Yeah,
one
hello,
question I
I'm
wanted to
hearing
ask
you.
you. Yeah,
I've
one
got
question
a
I wanted
question
to
for
ask you.
Alan.
You mentioned about water. Now, of late, there are several mining activities going on in Liberia all over the place, from gold mine to iron ore mine to diamond mine and all these things. And some of these mining activities are being carried out by companies. Because when I was growing up in my own area, there is a gold mine where they got, I think, MNT gold mine now, which is being mined on an industrial level. But long time, our people just to take a shovel and dig a ground, and what they get, that's it. They were not polluting nothing. The only thing they were digging that hole. In fact, when they dig hole from here, they will dig another hole and call this one, So it wasn't any threat. But now people are using industrial large scale mining, and they are using chemicals. And you mentioned about water. Does the mining activity have any real effect on environment in terms of water and the just the aqua life and all these things?
Of course, mining activity in general has uh, average effects on water, and not only water, but those aquatic animals that
Hmm.
live in the water, they can also be affected. Even the human race can also be affected as well. Because money, in the first place, when we are talking about environment, we look at the definition of environment from the broadest perspective. Because in the first place, what do we refer to as environment? We should be looking at the components that make up the environment. Like you will look at the living and non-living things that make up the environment. And water is one of the components of the environment. Now, so money has the ability to cause adverse effects within the environment, and water being one of the components can also be affected as well. Now, how does water be affected by mining? When our mining activity is taking place, you notice that there will be the removal of the forest cover in the first place. And before removing the forest cover, after removing the forest cover, you will notice that there will be a lot of things that will happen. One, the wildlife that live within the environment, within the forest, we have to go away from their natural habitat. The second thing, and we are referring to the terrestrial wildlife, those animals that live on the surface of the earth or on the dry land, that are not living in the water. They are the terrestrial animals. They will have to first of all run away to seek refuge. That's the first thing. The second thing is when the mining activity is going on, there are a lot of things that will happen. Now, like I mentioned about the components of environment, you will take air to be one of the components of environment because the environment has air, and we as living human being or living creature, we depend on the air for respiration. Now, so the air will also be affected. Then we come to the water. The water will also be affected because, like you ask for water, when mining is going on, there will be removal of the topsoil because what they are mining is actually within the soil. It's actually within the soil. So what they are mining, if they are mining, let's say gold, they will be looking in the soil for that gold, and they have to go deep down looking for that gold. In the process of conducting the mining, they will remove the surface of the topsoil, and then while in the process, they will be going deep, 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 and
Hmm. Well, folks, this is it, and you know, every day we discussing politics, but um, even we, the politicians, will not survive if the environment is damaged, because we this is our home. God made this place for us to live, right? So if we damage it, how do we live? How do we? What do we do? Like you don't have a home. Like he mentioned, if the mining activity can sometimes make the animals to run away because they'll have a machine there. Let's say you got the opassor in the small hole here, but every day they drink boo boo boo. The opassor to get a friend run away. So
Mm-hmm.
you destroy the environment with all these things. And we are not saying that mining and things should not take place, but the way they do it in Liberia, just a couple of weeks ago, we saw dead fish, dead dog, and people migrating the whole village in Cape Mountain Country because of bee mountain polluting their drinking water. Can you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who will go without water for complete 1 day, 2, 3 days. Okay. According to science, you can live without food for 7 days, but water is very important.
Yeah. Our country
Muted.
our country is in a serious mess because you have a very unserious president that do not know the importance of these things, the harm that it causes to the people. He only think that the position of presidency is just to enjoy. It's an enjoyment, but it comes with
You know,
responsibilities. It comes with
Minister,
Mm.
responsibilities,
yeah,
and this is why we said from the beginning that President Weah is incompetent, and yeah, he's unfit for the position of presidency because there are a lot of things that you have to do. There are a lot of decisions that you have to make as a president for the safety of your people. What is happening now is one of the major issue that if care is not taken, it's going to extend because that water that is polluted is running, going through other rivers, other lakes that will extend and pollute other places. So if care is not taken, if things are not properly done and B Mountain is not called to caution to really, clear this situation, it's going to be very harmful to our people. The next thing that will happen, people will start to get sick because it's the water is
And,
essential
and,
and it's
and,
what
and
people.
then I go back to the Supreme Court ruling in this case with the contracting, because contract, what if B Mountain say, okay, you're accusing you of polluting your water, we're not paying no damages, nothing will go in, because contract is not more than the law. So I don't know whether the government will run behind it. Contract is not more than our constitution, though, according to
You
chapter
have the government do not even
21.
have the power to stand up to these people. These people, they have every legal law, international legal law that protects them. But when it
Yeah, but
comes to
they operating
Liberia,
like bro. So
Liberia has nothing that
our Lord is
protects
the
them.
Hello,
governor. Yeah,
hello.
but I mean, we'll give you the next 10 minutes to so that we'll wrap up. It was good to have you, and yeah, just start from where you were, and probably you need some advice to national government as to what they can do to mitigate some of these things. So just flow from where you were.
Hello.
Hello.
it's frozen.
Yeah.
Well, I think Aline is freezing. So and just by way of introduction,
Hello.
Alan is my
Yeah.
junior brother. Uh, because the time is almost up. Ali, I think we understand that you're having problem over there. It's not your fault. It's the system that we talking against. The system that people don't understand. And when we talk, people say, "Oh, you're hate the government. You're wishing bad for the country." No, we compare what we know with what we have in Liberia, and then we talk. That's why we talk. We don't talk because our godful. We didn't talk because we're drunk. We didn't talk because we get work to do. All of us is here working. Some money will be getting out to go to work. But we put in time for our country so that it will be better. That you will not sit down on international stage, you'll be freezing for simple thing like internet. That children play with around here. So I think we just have to remove Ali. And
Yeah.
sorry for the inconvenience. It's not his fault. It's not our fault, but it's the fault of the system. Like I was saying, by way of introduction, Ali is my junior brother. I think number 6 after me. He's number
Wow.
6 after me. And people will say, "Oh, you're plenty." Yeah, we're plenty. We are 11, four girls and 7 boys. So we are blessed. And all of my 7 brothers, we all. One is a nurse, one is a teacher by profession. He's principal for a school, and in fact, one is just completing the nursing school. So we got 2 nurses because our mom is a midwife, traditional one too. She didn't go to school. Traditional one, she's been doing that thing from 1972, I think, until now. So she's commonly known as grandmother for all the children that she delivered. So all my little brothers, they are something. They are something.
But man, let mellow down small. Let have
Yeah.
a laugh small. You
Yeah.
forget grand politics. Yeah, have a laugh before we go.
Yeah.
You see the name that bear in Chilope, right?
Uh-huh.
My uncle have 42 children.
Real children?
His children, 42. And when he died, went to this his funeral, we realized that the total of his clan was 96, including grandchildren, great-grandchildren.
Wow.
So I tell you, I don't even know some of my cousins.
No, not possible.
So that's how that's how it is. So sometimes even I got to realize lately he named one of his sons after me. The guy is buried my full name. So
Okay.
I came across it now. I was wondering, and then when I saw the film, I said, "Oh, I see."
So my Uncle Sunday. I see, Paul. You finish pulling my leg down. I want to keep the thing secret, but you finish pulling my leg. My father, in his own right, was a traditional man. So the guy had 3 wives. And out of 3 wives, we have 22 children. Mama has 11, and the other 2 wives, one of them was lucky she had me 1. So plus all the one, and so we are 22 children. And guess what? Who is the oldest of 22 children? That the one you see sitting here.
So you get a lot of responsibility behind you, man.
You don't know how many cases are judged every day on the telephone. I wear your township. Just yesterday, one of them called me. No, 2 days ago, he sent text. He said, "So because all of them get the same part, but we get the same man. So we're not the same family." I said, "But who told you that?" Then he didn't answer. Then last night he replied me. So I sent him a message. You call me back. So I called him and said, "But so I asked him. I said, who told you that?" So you see, yes, Ali can attest with that. Ali is from my mom. He's number 6 after me, and I'm the first of 22 children. When my father died 2014. We were there. I went there 2016 to do the feast, and that was the first time I saw, even the very Ali, I saw him, children. I didn't know that. I mean, because all I know, Ali is supposed to be one small boy. That's the picture I got for him after I didn't see him for 20 years. I need to go see that. And then I got grown-up children. And I mean, he was in the university. And so you see, Liberia, we are so mingled. And Paul, you will not even believe that. Maybe you know some of my people. Okay? So we are so plenty. And I think during that program, I think the grandchildren, for all of us, for 22 children, I think the grandchildren were around 30 or something. And then the great-grandchildren, everything, all of us, almost 80 something. You see? So you see, Liberia, we are small and we can cross paths, but people don't know, So when we're doing these things, where people will lie and say, "Yeah, Alan, we cannot continue now, or our time is actually finished." But we appreciate that you managed to bring your data, you managed to even move from one spot to go to the next house to be able to reconnect. But these conversations continue, especially when it comes to the well-being of Liberia. So one day we'll have you, and the next time we'll have you, we're going to mix this environmental thing with the politics in Liberia. So you will be also prepared to talk politics. Yeah, somebody want to read that comment? Who put it there, Andre or Paul?
No, I just seen it up. Who put it up? I'm not. You and Andre, you have the.
I don't know.
I think I put it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see, but this is why the people like a man for. The man pay. They say, "Oh, I need the man pay on that bro. Come into our house. I live here. I cannot live two places at the same time. If I be in Liberia now, who will live there? Other people be living there. I'll be feeding them. I'm not saying that I can't do it, but I cannot make it a priority. Why? I got a lot of bills here to pay. I got things to take care of here. Then I say I'm going to pay much in Liberia.
So but the horse coming living in our house.
No, they said I apartment. You know, they say it's sort of build mansion. and I mean, now we just having fun, right?
Yeah.
somebody came in my inbox and said, "Oh, come in, so big." So I said, "Show me anywhere because this time they say the law that the law. Show me anywhere in the constitution that said before you become president in Liberia you should live in mansion." The person couldn't show me. So you see, people will look for think about you, and they forget to know that tomorrow will live and politics will go. All these things we're doing, it will go. But we'll stay here.
You know, I love Liberia. Like
so much.
My old man Joseph Barker say, I love Liberia. I think then we will build Liberia and our children will build Liberia. Why do I say this? If you want to laugh, anytime you want vacation, go Liberia. Because the most crazy thing will make you laugh. The place is stress-free. I'll tell you, let me pour fun into the thing. So for our audience, I left from here, and when I went home for the first time, just after the last fight, which was 2003. All right, and the place was so bad. I was living up a mountain that, and you know where man the front street where man Dishi house.
High house.
Right behind Man Dishi house, my brother had a
cotton tree. The cotton tree stay there?
Man Dishi?
No, the cotton tree. They pick cotton tree down there.
The cotton tree still there. The bats and things still living in the so my man, so money around 5 o'clock, my man. You want Liberia, so a trusty place. I just hearing the noise. People having argument 5 o'clock in the morning because of draw bucket. They want to draw water. Somebody using the wrong thing. Look, but they kind of say the argument. Look, it woke me up. I just started laughing. So the place is just stress free. Nothing will come out of, or somebody will come up with some silly thing and it will
make big case.
Yeah, you'll just laugh. My man, I said, Lord, let me take a walk on Broad Street. And I seen the two car washer. They're trying to fight, but one they're afraid to punch each other. My man, if I punch you, I'll punch you, but he can't punch against.
Yeah, man. So that for no reason, because the people wake up, they're frustrated already.
Yes.
Let me share my own phone. 2014, I have not gone to Liberia for over 13, 14 years. And my father, not knowing he wanted to die now, so to speak, they may pardon me every day. Why you can't miss you? I said, but you get plenty of children there. Never mind, you want to see, oh, my man can't miss you. So I went. As usual, we always will argue because probably we got first child. We'll argue for nothing thing. So I went, I said, let me go see the old man. So I sent car, right? I know the situation like bro. I sent car ahead of me. So I arrived before, in fact, the car arrived before me, just about the same time. But my man, I went for 3 weeks to get that car. It took me 3 weeks. The 3 weeks, I got a car on a Friday. I was on the car on Sunday evening. So when I got a car on Friday, and every day I should go to the port. So we are going to the port this afternoon, waiting for the car. And there's a gas, the port there, right to the Freeport Junction, kind of big junction there. There's a gas station right there. So I was tired. So I told the boy, I'll go buy one crate of stuff. I said, you're just going to tell people, bring 1 crate of stuff. Cool. So we were sitting there drinking. I said, now, my man, I'm tired now. I sleep one more to carry me because I've not catch my head, man. You know, just to forget my frustration. I have some. I'm not a gas station. Then I just heard the guitar warming, playing. So I opened my eyes. Sorry, oh man. I said, what you want? He said, give me money. I said, well, I get money. He said, you give me money. I said, I get money. He said, you drinking? He said, you get money. I said, I get money. So I got fair. I told the pool, I said, I'm moving home for it. They move me. Then he said, yeah, because you're this now, you're drinking, I can't have money. I said, well, who pay? I'm this. So you see, the people can be frustrated, my man. Sometimes, so I felt sorry for him. I said, you're calling Omer, let Omer can say you can drink. He said, yeah. I said, okay, take some bottle. He said, hey, that's all I wanted. You see, so the frustration can be too much sometimes, my man.
No, I understand that. I understand that. You see, when you see me, I'm very slim in body. So I go to Morovia, and most people come from overseas, they get big stomach.
Our viewer will not give you your bowl. We just want
Yeah,
to make it fun
we
tonight.
just, so somebody said, well, no, we just wrap it up. So we just try to make the thing instead of Joe Weir and Cummings, so we just want to make a little fun. But
Oh, Kajo, welcome.
so this guy said to me, my brother introduced, oh, y'all meet my brother from the UK. That young man look at me up and down and said, poor, that man, why look like he from Bush and Brewer camp that they make So I said, all right, thank you. You saved me for my little money. Anyway, let's talk, wrap up and close also can get going.
So that's it.
For those, for those that
Liberian
just
people.
joined, if you can
Mm.
follow the link, just click follow. Every time we come up, it will alert you so we can have a discussion. And welcome, Kai. It will be good that he appear on our program one of these days to have a fruitful discussion. And what I wanted to say, Linford, as we go forward for this coming election 2023, I think is what we need to do now is to start talking more about the 5 pillars of ANC, Mr. Cummings, how he intends to run the country, because the 5 pillars is simple to go through. You see that a lot of people don't know about these 5 pillars is what we need to start talking about. So our next podcast, we start laying out the 5 pillars. We'll go through it. So say maybe next we'll take about 2 of the pillars and discuss it. And then the other we will do another 2 until we come to the end and we'll keep repeating that. So it'll be good for the people to understand what this 5 pillars about. Even some of ANC members do not know the 5 pillars that Mr. Cummings run on, but they are very simple 5 pillars that he talks about. And one of the key things we're talking about internet here not long ago that people in Liberia struggling to log on, but he talked the first thing our 5 pillar is infrastructure. And infrastructure, that's where all of these little things come in. Internet connectivity, roads, electricity, water, all of those things come into there. And also, when you have infrastructure, people building, they're doing all sort of things. That's job creation. Because if you have plumber working, you have the guys doing the roads, you have people doing electricity, all of those little things you put together, that's job creation. So we have to deep down into the 5 pillars that ANC is running. So going forward, that's what we need to do. What y'all take?
Thank you very much. And to our viewers, we let us say thanks a lot for being there tonight. And for those of you who contributed by asking questions or making comments, you are welcome. It's because of you that we have this show. And this show is there to educate the Liberian people, henceforth, fast forward to elections and even after elections. And we ask that you always make it your duty when we come on so that you can come and deal with us. Because some of the comments that you make, we'll really learn from them. See your suggestions. Because we are Liberian. It is you, it's not us. We know we are not only Liberian, you are Liberians, and you can make your contribution as well. You see us sitting there, we are just doing something. But you too got a part to play. You got families in Liberia. You got to talk to them. You got to talk to your people, convince your people. You see, so this is the task that we all need to do. But Paul, just before we go, there is coming this program in Germany, and I don't want us to forget about it. And so just throw a little bit of light on it. And I think somebody will ask, why you always ask Paul? You let us talk about it. I'm not Paul. The reason they say when the moon shining, when the sun shining, the moon can shine. Paul is the regional coordinator for the ANC Global Europe. I'm just the director of communication for that group. So Paul is the overall boss. Andrea is the women wing, communication chair lady too. So she got anything that has to do with information from the ladies. She's responsible for that. So Paul, tell us a little bit about this program. You are muted, Paul.
Oh, thank you, Lifa. We are now gearing out for handover Germany. We'll be there on the 8th and the 9th of July. Mr. Cummings will be in our midst. I guess he will be coming with Mrs. Cummings. And it's where the ANC or Europe going to introduce Mr. Cummings to the wider European community. They are free to come to Germany, whether you're sedition, you're unity partisan, you're not position, you position. Join us in Germany and meet Mr. Cummings. We're going to have a lot of activities. We meet on the 8th. That 8th is meet and greet where we introduce people to Mr. Cummings. And on a Saturday, which is the 9th, we're going to have of football, kickball, and then there'll be a symposium on that day where we will sit down on the Palava hut and people feel free to ask any question they want to ask governments to know who is this man that want to take on George Weah to redeem Liberia. So he will be in our midst in Germany, and he's a former number 9 too. So you never know, he'll do a little run, and then after that it's a fundraiser. The fundraiser starts 6 p.m. Central European time, and the guys decided until 4 a.m. in the morning. So it'll be a serious party in Germany. So the flyers are also for those who want to take their quick vacation, join us in Handover Germany. The details have been circulated, and are more the guys now are been monitoring my phone today. They've been posting a lot of things on his arrival. We had a meeting with Mr. Cummings on Saturday, and he's on fire. He's coming with no more court case on him. Come and listen to this guy. You hear the kind of message how he want to transform Liberia. You have the opportunity to be with us in Germany. Yeah, Linford.
Yeah, and Paul, it's very good that you are inviting people. There is this question that I'm always confronted with, all over the internet, anywhere. People call me, my man, they are coming, man, what you not do for Liberia? So you always get that question, you come. They want part?
Yeah.
They say, let me say my winning far play. You come to Germany and ask, fail to fail, you say, Mr. Coming, what you not do for Liberia? So let me tell you, you're hearing from the horses more. Because when we talk, you say, oh, they may pay your money. Paul, who are the program who's sponsoring that us?
The program being sponsored by the ANC Europe.
Yeah. Then they say, they say, we just eating Mr. Coming money for nothing.
No.
I don't know. How can I sit down here in Norway or I tell Mr. Coming, please send money to me? Or I don't understand.
We invited Mr. Cummings. We're bringing him. He's our guest. We're going to treat him. We're hosting him. It's not his money. It's our money. So come and have fun.
And this fundraising, we are going to put money there. Then they say we're eating coming money. So
this
we
is
tell
about
you money.
Mama Liberia.
We tell you money, then we tell around put it in a cover again.
Yeah. The fundraiser is actually for voter education, how we can propagate the message, why we think Mr. Cummings is the best. So we're going to grade all those that are in the race, and we put all their pedigree together, and why do we think Mr. Cummings is the best? So you have the opportunity to listen to him instead of people telling you this is the time. So if you're in Europe, if you're in Belgium, you're around Holland, that's just a short drive to Hanover. Come and have fun and meet some of us.
I got my football boots already.
Okay. So, yeah, Germany will be live and kick it. I haven't played football for a while now, but I started training already.
Start training now.
Yeah.
No excuse. I see. Start giving excuse now.
No, I started training already.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, we like to say thank you very much, Paul.
Yeah.
And thank you to myself. I'll not forget myself. And thank you to our guest, Aline. Aline, like I said, we'll bring you back sometime. We don't know when, but when we get ready, we'll get to you. And so you can educate us more. A lot of people are saying that the team we know what you're talking, and so it's good that at least you know your subject matter. That you are not somebody who is guessing. So we'll bring you back one day, and so you can complete what you are telling. It was good to have you, and thanks a lot. And so this is how we like to leave you guys on this edition of the Bottom Line. My name is Linford Goer. along with Paul Chilople and Andre Jalo, the maid lady, and people start calling her the general already. So let's
What?
take it
No,
with this.
I want that name. I beg you. We got a general in there.
Okay, you captain.
Well, don't carry
Nothing.
because Joseph Burker, he was major in the dual government.
Oh, so
Yeah.
why people, many people?
Yeah, he was major in the dual government.
The point I finish all the rest. So which rent leave for honor? We can get some rent. We'll probably.
All right, guys.
Okay, guys. So take care.
Come on, let them say ya. Come on, let them say ya. That in my business, you catching fever. Getting serious like empty river.